So for You, the song title, the end result of this was we always felt Vertigo and You were our strongest songs. And for everyone else, I think that was the all-round feeling. I felt a bit more insecure with this song just because the violin part was really difficult to fit into it so that it fit with all the chord changes. So what I ended up doing was trying to just add the dynamic feel of the piece. So do the lead up into the choruses, which we really build up after the verse. So we go to this pre-chorus and the drums and everyone starts bringing up their dynamic and gradually builds up and blasts out this chorus. And so I made the violin fit that by doing this run up. And then when we get into it, I started using double stops, which I felt filled out the sound. And I think that's what this needed. It didn't really need these amazing lyrical violin parts. It needed just a full sound and something that was really going to hype up the audience. What also helped with this is, again, bringing in this extra guitar part, another first year who managed to add that full textured sound to this piece, which before it was okay, but adding this guitar part gave me the confidence to be able to say, yeah, this needs double stops and these are the notes I'm going to do because this fits with this. And he just, again, managed to pull off these chords that went with the rest of the piece and gave this amazing sound on stage. And for the audience feeling as well, they all seem to really receive this build up into these choruses and hear that chorus just blast out. What also gave this song a great feel for an audience is this anthem part, which I keep talking about. Na 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 na. Really last minute thing. Well, not last minute, but we weren't kind of planning that. That wasn't in the cards for this piece, I don't think. And it actually has turned out to be one of those parts that I think if you're in a crowd, everyone could join in with, and I think that's what everyone felt in the audience that day. Jamie was really confident with this part, which made it all the more better for the audience to feel. What I did think was a bit messy during our performance for this was actually the lead from the first part of the song to this anthem-y bit. I think we all kind of had just a brain blip and we had to really go a bit insular for a moment, so all of us performers just kind of gather, like we didn't stop, but I think we had a nervous moment of, okay, and we're going to do this bit now. So we all went a bit insular on stage and kind of closed up and made sure we all knew what we were doing and then led in. The drummer really helped with that. Alex really helped us get from the first part to the next part, as he always does. But I think in rehearsal we'd felt a bit more confident with that. And then on stage, I think it was a bit of nervousness from the first to the next section. But I think we were okay in the end, just a bit, not as tight as I think we would have wanted it. But this has been a really good live performance for this. And all of us, even though we did have that blip, we all moved together. That was the main thing. We all came through this slight nervous patch together and made that last part really stand out and communicated it to the audience. Just after we'd had that moment, we just full on went to the audience and went, this is us, this is our anthem, and really enjoyed the rest of it. The process for this song has not been too bad. It's been one that I think, it hasn't been as collaborative as Vertigo, but we all had a really good kind of structured put together. We all had a part to play in the structure and how we developed it. And I think that, again, it came across in the live performance. So our last Peace song was instrumental. I haven't felt as confident with this one. I play keyboard in this, which again, like, it isn't my main instrument, but we made it simplistic so that I didn't feel like I was pushing myself too much. And I mean pushing myself as in not stepping out the box so that I feel too nervous and too uptight that I'm not going to be able to just go on stage and have that nervousness, but also have that performance. I can just play this and know what I'm doing feel. So we got together this, it was an A chord, put a C sharp, and a D sharp on top, and make it like really just something to hear in the background, not necessarily to fill out the song, but just to dull the background sound. And that was added quite late. The boys really, I had another band to do, and I kind of went off to do that while they figured out this instrumental, because Finn was the main driving force of this. He had the riff, he knew what he wanted from everyone, and the violin part just didn't seem to make sense in this. So I initially thought I wasn't actually going to play in it, and then Jamie said, oh, a keyboard would be really good in this. And so they told me what they wanted, and I took that away and tried to make it quite melodic and lyrical. On stage, I don't think it went as well as I wanted it to go. I felt quite nervous after the blip changeover we'd had with me putting my mic too close to the speaker. So I was a bit just all over the place, so I panicked a bit, and I almost just had a blur during that song. But I tried to I knew what chord I was playing, I knew what notes I was playing, so I just really tried to make it as melt into the song as possible. All the boys had a really good time playing this on stage. They all communicated really well, and you know, they all seemed to move together. They knew that when the drum does this, we do this. When the guitar does this, we do this. And I saw that in rehearsal when they were doing it. They all just moved together, and when I came in and gave my suggestions, they really took it on board to create this really wholesome instrumental part that they through and through have been really proud of. And I think, again, audience loved it. And I was really, my concern was that it didn't have lyrics, so maybe people weren't going to like it as much. But actually, I think it was a really nice, mellow instrumental to put in the middle of these quite anthemy and upbeat songs that we'd created. So it really created a nice variety in our set list and the live performance in the end. And I think that was the intended purpose, really. Jamie wanted one of them to be instrumental, just to give it that different vibe that no one would be expecting, and he really pulled that off. I was really proud of the process end up to the live performance, because through and through we set out to do a songwriting band, and we delivered on that. We didn't go to covers, which on the odd occasion was suggested, just to add an extra song to our set. But I'm really glad that we stuck to our guns and had a really lovely time through this process, being a songwriting band as a group of friends that enjoy each other's company. And when it came to the live performance, we worked together to create something we would look back on and be happy with, and I'm proud that we did that.